Throughout human history, a significant question has always been asked: who was the first king of the world? Traditionally, people associate the name Narmer, or Menes, with the first king of ancient Egypt. But was he truly the first king in human history? To find the answer to this question, we must examine archaeological evidence, historical records, and various ancient civilizations that preceded Egypt. Narmer, who ascended to the throne around 3150 BCE in ancient Egypt, is recognized as the first king of a unified Egypt. By conquering the northern and southern regions of Egypt, he created a unified kingdom and is regarded as the founder of the first dynasty of Egypt. One of the most important archaeological pieces that supports this is the Narmer palette, which depicts Narmer as the conqueror of Upper and Lower Egypt, symbolizing the unification of the two lands. In Mesopotamia, the Sumerian civilization, one of the oldest known civilizations, flourished around 3000 BCE. The Sumerians had complex governmental systems, and kings such as Gushur and Alulim are mentioned in their historical records. However, archaeological evidence suggests that multiple kingdoms existed during this time. One of the most important archaeological pieces from Sumer is the Sumerian inscriptions, which meticulously document the reigns of kings. These texts list rulers like Gushur, who some consider the first king of Sumer. These inscriptions, which are part of ancient Sumerian texts, provide detailed information about early monarchs and their accomplishments. Additionally, in the Eridu Temple, one of the oldest temples in Sumer, inscriptions and carvings exist that possibly refer to Alulim, the founder of Eridu, who is considered one of the first kings in Sumerian tradition. In Egypt, archaeological artifacts like the Narmer palette, dating to around 3150 BCE, depict the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under Narmer's rule. The artifact, which is now housed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, clearly portrays Narmer's military victory and his role in unifying Egypt. This piece is considered one of the most significant pieces of evidence confirming Narmer's status as the first king of Egypt. Another archaeological discovery is the tombs of early Egyptian kings in Abydos, which provide further evidence of the early dynasties of Egypt and the role of kings in establishing political and religious power. These tombs offer insights into the religious and ceremonial practices of early Egyptian rulers. In human history, many figures who are considered kings may have been the result of blending historical fact with myth. For example, in Sumerian texts, kings who lived more than 10,000 years ago are often simultaneously figures in myth. One of the major archaeological discoveries that supports this blending is found in Eridu and Uruk, where inscriptions and carvings depict kings and their associated legends. On the other hand, some historians believe that the first king of Egypt was a figure named Ayri. Archaeological evidence, such as clay inscriptions held in the Uruk Museum, lists him among the early Sumerian kings. These texts, which were discovered in the early 20th century, are ancient, but some parts are not legible due to their age. These inscriptions suggest that Ayri may have been the first king of Egypt, though no definitive proof has been found to support this claim. In many ancient civilizations, kings were not only seen as political leaders, but also as gods. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs were regarded as deities or semi-deities. Archaeological evidence from temples and tombs shows that these kings ruled as divine representatives of gods on earth. Similarly, in Mesopotamia and ancient India, kings had religious roles. In the ancient Indian texts, such as the Mahabharata and Ramayana, kings are depicted as figures who embodied both military and religious power, demonstrating the divine nature of kingship in these cultures. Given the available archaeological evidence and various studies of ancient civilizations, it can be concluded that identifying the first king of the world is a challenging task, and we may never be able to definitively determine who that king was. Narmer is widely recognized as the first king of Egypt, but evidence suggests that other kings, like Alulim and Ayri, may have ruled before Egypt's unification. These archaeological findings help us reconstruct a more accurate picture of kingship and leadership in early human civilizations.